from the Pathway Studios in Johnston proper. You are live from the Path.
And you're listening to Live from the Path. We're coming to you from the Pathway Studios here in Johnston proper.
I'm pretty excited, man.
As I think you should be.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I don't know what happened. So we took a break like 2 weeks ago, and I thought to myself, I really hate taking a break. And then certainly something came about over the last few weeks, and then we missed within 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's been a tough go. There's been a lot of people working, a lot of people going to school, all that jazz. Hey, Nick Harris.
Yeah. Hey, Harris, grab that microphone. Hop on in.
Okay.
So anyway, here's what we got going on the show tonight. So we are joined in studio. We got a group of Fust ladies. We got. is that a giggle reflected of a Fust lady?
Emma, you're barely in the camera.
I am Mike Fust's daughter.
Oh, okay, good.
I am 7 years old, and I'll hand it on to my cousin. Hello, I am Layla Fust, and my dad is Ben Fust.
Excellent. Thanks, Layla. Sorry, I didn't say, hey, who are you?
No, we didn't say, hey, you guys should introduce yourselves. They just kind of said that's what was going to do.
They just decided that's what was going to happen. Okay.
I just wanted to go with the flow.
How about these ladies over here?
I'm Grace. I'm also a Mike Fust's daughter, and blonde hair now.
My name's Emma, and my dad's Ben Fust.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Nick Harris, who do you belong to?
Yeah.
I'm Jesus' son.
That's
Priestman's talking. Everyone thinks Priestman's talking over there.
Nick Harris has the answer of the hour. All right, so here's what we got going on the show tonight. So we're going to do some secular Solomon.
Excellent.
I've got some. Oh man, I got a list. So normally I produce just like a small list, but I mean I have one chutzpah of a list here, and so I'm going to pick randomly through these and see whether you know the difference between secular bit of wisdom of the world, and that comes from the good book Solomon specifically, and we'll see how the everybody does on secular versus Solomon. Also, we've got some Dear Life from the Path. Mike, you got any preview on that action?
Well, I just looked at one. Something had to do with an old man in a driveway. I don't know. We'll probably go through it. It seems interesting.
An old man in a driveway. Okay.
Yeah. And then actually, I had a philosophical question. Ben and I had talked about this here a couple weeks ago, but there's an old philosophical question called the ship of Theseus, and it has to do with a ship going across the sea or whatever. And I was going to ask you ladies and Nick Harris.
Okay.
How we look at the philosophy behind the ship of Theseus and how it compares to our life with Jesus. Like which one of the two outcomes do we think is actually a pretty good comparison? The second thing that I had is, man, there is a junk ton of artists coming through Iowa here pretty soon. We'll hit that a little bit later in the podcast or whatever. But like if you want to go see live music and you want to see people who love Jesus playing tunes, they're all over the place here in the next month or two. So we'll hit you up with that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. That's what's coming up here on Live from the Path. In case this show is not for you, but you are interested in checking out other parts of the show, go to livefromthepath.org. There's past clips, plenty of cool interviews, including from Tim Timmons, who Mike is going to talk about, is going to be in town within the next month or two. He was a lot of fun to talk to. His last album was great, and we did an interview with him that I think you should go check out. That's at livefromthepath.org. You can also sign up for the podcast, which apparently we get to erratically. I was looking, this is like the 20th show this year, which means like we getting lazy, Nick Harris.
Yeah.
We getting lazy. We just like randomly showing up whenever we want in the lounge pants and zebra undies, you know? So we got to do our, we're going to try to straighten that out.
Okay, definitely.
Okay, all right. Nick Harris takes responsibility. He says he's a man of Jesus, and he takes responsibility for this type of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we got. What did I see an article on earlier this week? Oh, doggone it. Oh, hey, so if you guys have seen Despicable Me, right? Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nick Harris, you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is Gru a good guy or a bad guy? What do you think?
Bad guy,
know.
but he changes into a good guy.
Yeah, but like in the next movie, it's like the previews. It showed him a bad guy again, so I'm not sure because he was a good guy last time, but he was a bad guy the guy before that.
Feels like another philosophical question.
That's true. What makes a good guy and a bad guy a bad guy?
So let me read you a bit of this article, okay? And now, have you guys seen Despicable Me 3?
Nope.
No, but
Well,
yeah, I think you're going tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll check it
we're
out tomorrow.
going tomorrow
Yeah.
to the theater.
Okay,
Possibly.
so hopefully this doesn't give it away, but here's a little bit of the article, okay? It says, shortly before my husband and I got married, obviously someone else wrote this, someone gifted us a copy of Despicable Me, a movie we had enjoyed so much that we added it to our wedding registry. I don't particularly enjoy kids' movies, but Despicable Me was such a perfect balance of sentiment and humor, plot and character, that it resonated with me immediately. I was also, however, disappointed by Universal's decision, Universal's the company that made the movie, to follow it up with a series of increasingly minion-laden sequels. Not because the franchise seemed unworthy of revisiting, but because it seemed not to need it. For this reason, Despicable Me surprised me. 3 movies in, the franchise still works and works well. Gru's relationship with his daughters, as well as the new addition of his wife Lucy, ground the film with a fitting sentiment, one that keeps the value of community at the forefront of the franchise. I also appreciated the film's acknowledgement of moral complexity, with its inclusion of a character whose path toward righteousness has been, as it is for many, a struggle. And so I'll sum this up, though. The question is that they're going to ask, is he kind of like the Apostle Paul? So do you see any similarities to the character of Gru and what you guys know about Paul?
Yeah, they both were bad at one time, and then they were good.
Okay, yeah, so there's a change in them, right? What drastically changed Gru's life? Go. You don't have to raise your hand, Grace. It's a radio
Okay.
program.
I don't know.
Okay. His daughter is Margot, Edith, and Agnes.
Oh, yes, and specifically his love for them, right? Right, like something changes a man. Okay, what changes in Saul's life? Who becomes Paul?
Jesus speaks to him.
Yeah, that's right. He has a run-in with Jesus on the road somewhere. In fact, he was on the road to cause trouble, and he runs into Jesus, and then everything changes for him.
Now, that was also true to Gru, right? He was on the road to cause trouble, and then he ran into the ladies, right? Yeah, that Ben, this parallel is really starting to hit me.
Okay. So I didn't want to keep going with this because I think it gives away some of the stuff. Yeah, it gives away too much of the film for me to continue down that track. But I was interested to see if you guys saw a parallel there with the Apostle Paul. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Mom, we should see what we can find in that movie.
But I was just gonna tell you that Gru just wanted the girls because they could go into Vector's evil lair thingy, because they were selling cookies. He just wanted a shrink-eraser thingy.
Oh, right. He was just going to use them for his own evil ends, huh?
Yeah, but then he started liking them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is what kind of happened. Yeah, so it's interesting, right? Like he started what he originally meant for evil turned out to be something that ultimately changed him, and then ended up in good. Saul was on his way to persecute other Christians. Jesus shows up, blinds the guy, knocks him on his butt, and then everything changes. You run into Jesus, everything changes, right? And so I don't know. That seems like kind of a fitting comparison. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Actually, that's a good time to bring up that Theseus thing. What's
the word that you're saying?
Theseus.
Yeah, no, that's what
Ship.
It's Greek.
Oh, ship. Oh,
Ship.
it's Greek. Okay.
Greek
Yeah.
dude.
Greek dude.
Okay.
Ship of Theseus. So a man named Theseus owns a ship, okay? So Theseus sets out to sail on the ocean in this big old ship, right? And as he's sailing, he decides to start replacing every board on the ship while it's moving. So by the time that he gets to the land where he was sailing to, no board is the same. They're all brand new boards. So the question is it a brand new ship or is it the same ship? All the parts are new. There's not one board that was there originally. It's that they're all brand new boards. Is it a brand new ship or is it the same ship?
It's the same ship.
It's the same ship. Why?
Like, it's, like, same, like, it has the same name, it has, like, the same shape. It's, like, the same ship, it just looks different. Like, we put a new siding on our house, so we're going to repaint it. It's still the same house.
That's a solid point, Emma.
Emma says it's the same.
Is there anyone in the new ship category? Grace.
We restarted our house.
True.
We literally stripped the siding off and then shoved on new stuff, and it's still the same house.
So you're still in the same house category. All right, let me ask it a different way, okay? That same ship, people were enamored with this ship. They thought this ship was great, right? So they put it in a museum. And some thieves wanted to steal the ship. But they thought, there's no way that we can get this whole ship out without anybody noticing. And so what they would do is they would sneak in at night, take parts of the ship out, and replace the parts that they took with new parts. And then they got they did this night after night after night after night. And they got all the parts outside the museum, and then they put the whole ship together again. Now, is the one that's in the museum now, is that the old ship? No. Is the one that's outside the museum the old ship?
No, because they didn't replace them. They didn't replace them one at a time. Like if you replace the whole ship, then it's a different ship. But if you replace like the things one at a time, it's just building onto it and making it better.
But the one in the museum that's made out of completely new materials looks exactly like the ship that was in there originally. It's just made out of new materials. Now, wouldn't that be the same argument for driving the ship across the ocean and changing all the parts out? It looks exactly like the old one, but it's got
Grace doth protest.
Okay, Grace, go ahead. Hey, lift that microphone up just a little bit. Okay, what?
If you know the story, police must have caught him, so they must have returned the ship.
Well, it's a think piece, Grace. It's not a fact-based, like, man caught in jail with Theseus ship. Like, it's a question to think about. And here's the reason I'm asking, okay? I'm sorry, Ella, did you have something to add?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go to the bathroom. Thanks, Elle. Now, what if Theseus replaced the bathroom? Okay, so here's why I wanted to think about it, is what I thought. Is like, it's same thing with Paul, right? Paul was a ship. It's like a metaphor,
think
right?
Think of him like a ship.
Yeah, think of Paul the ship.
Sails on seas.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so let's say that when people meet Jesus, and Paul's a good example, that your life starts to change. Okay? And he starts to take the things about you that need to change and more fit with the way that he runs things, and he starts to take those out and replace them with new things, right? So when he's all said and done, and he's working you out to be a citizen of his kingdom and live with him forever, are you a new person, or are you the same person, but with new parts?
Well, it could be both, really.
It could be both. Do tell Emma.
Yeah. In what way do you think it could be both?
Well, like, it could, if you're just, like, you could, like, I don't know. Like,
it's okay. It's a tough thing to think about. It's not a super easy thing to understand.
Like, it's more like if you just, like, took away your house and replaced it with a new house. It looked the same, the same colors, everything. It's still a new house. But if you, like, replace it one at a time, like, one piece at a time, it still, like, has this structure around it. It's just added on to it. If eventually you replace the whole thing, it's still a house. Like, if we were to, like, one at a time take down our walls in our house and rebuild them, like, by the end, it would still be the same house, just really, 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 really modified.
Okay.
Yeah, what I think she's saying, like, it gotta be like, I get exactly what she's saying. It's like, okay. Even though I think I know the answer to that, like I think I know, but
here's the thing is,
like
I don't know that there is an answer.
You can't change everything at once. So it's like, even though, like with Jesus, like everything, it's a time frame between, you can't change everything at once. So like what she's saying is like basically like it's the same house but you changing over time. It takes time to build piece by piece. So you will still be the same house until completion. You know, so, but I think like as you get to know Jesus, that you be the same vessel but a different person, but it just takes time to build on that. You know, like, so you can stop doing one habit, but you know, you working on something else to stop doing, and like over time you get what Jesus was trying to do. You know? So like it just takes time. I think that's what she was saying. Like, it takes time for you to just, you know, change overnight. But you are a new ship.
There it is. You're a new ship.
Yes, and you a new ship.
Yeah. So think about it this way. And this is going to be kind of a gross example, right?
Awesome.
But like, so some things are meant to change, right? Like some things about you are intended to change, and you don't freak out about it. Like you don't blow your nose and go, "Oh goodness, I've lost part of myself," right? It's a natural thing that happens.
It goes, "Oh yeah, I've been there." Yeah.
Right? So like you don't look at your snot in a rag and go, "I miss you already, friend." we've departed from each other, right? So because you expect that to happen. The same thing with your hair. Your hair falls out, you grow new hair. You don't sweep up your other hair and give it a funeral. It's meant to fall out. And so and the truth is that like your skin cells actually replace themselves. I don't have the same skin I had when I was a baby. Otherwise, it would be a super tight fit. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, just for something to think about. You know how you randomly find snake skins every once in a while? If I walked into this room and I found a skin in Ben's shape sitting in the corner, I'd poop myself. I would have no idea what to say.
That's funny. Laugh into the microphone, Emma.
Got to play it up for the crowd, Ben.
Everyone thinks
Gotta keep
terrible.
up with the game, bro. So some things are meant to change, right? And it doesn't make me not the same person. Now, we're a little different, right? Because we kind of have a soul, like a bit of an essence that says you could change a lot of stuff about me, and I would still say, that's Ben, even though my skin has changed, even though I've blown out a gallon of snot over the last 10 years, right? It's still me here. The ship is different, though, because the ship doesn't have a soul. You wouldn't be like, yes, but the essence of the ship still lives on.
Yeah.
Like, unless you really dug on ships.
See, and here's the thing: is I think I agree with this side of the room because God's
Hey, wait, after that compelling snot example?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal: is because God generally, like, His MO is to redeem things. He created it to be this, and He redeems it. He doesn't say, "I'm going to destroy it and create new." He said, "I'm going to take what was once fallen or broken, and I'm going to mend it. And I'm going to put it back together. And I'm going to make it. I'm going to turn it back into what I designed it to be." And so, I like if I had to fall on one side of the fence, I think it would be same ship, just new parts. Same ship, man, the redesign. I don't know. Man, it's got me thinking again. I'm still same ship.
One by one, the Lord is moving the boards. Is that what you're
I
saying?
think it's both actually. So like if you took a journal of it, more than half the time it would be the same ship, but at the very end you would have
right?
When the last board gets there, you're like, now it's brand new. Is that what you're saying?
It's not brand new. It's like the same. It's still old. It's just different.
It's been created new again, right?
Yeah.
So like
it's like if you were like following Jesus and then you get baptized, then you're new.
right. New.
Yeah. You're not. It's not like you look totally different. You look the same.
Right.
But like you're still different.
Right on. That's a think piece.
Yeah.
It's a think piece.
The ship of Theseus, also known as the life of a Christ follower. Good discussion, ladies. That's
the Emma theory.
The Emma theory.
I've lost part of myself. You guys are heartless to my snot.
What?
Now I'm gonna feel like I should, like if I get a haircut and the guy tries to sweep it in the pan, I'll be like, I don't think so. Give that back to me.
Did you just see the girl sneak out because of your son example?
I think that's right on good. Hold on. Here we go. Here's hold on. That's not what I wanted.
What? What was that?
Hold tight.
Boxing match. Whoa!
For America's fastest growing game show. Secular or Solomon?
You don't know what happened here, but you have wandered into America's fastest growing internet game show, Asterix Unproven. You've wandered into Secular versus Solomon. Here's the gist of the game, okay?
Hey, I like that game.
I'm gonna give you a piece of wisdom, okay? Something that sounds like some smart guy somewhere said it, okay? And your job, Nick Hare's going to get a map. You're going to cheat. Your job is to tell me where the bit of wisdom come from, right? Is it a Bible wisdom? Did it come like Solomon type stuff, or does it come from the world, somewhere that's not the Bible? Okay? Are you guys ready for this action?
Can we team up?
Or you gonna no, because you're gonna take too long to collaborate.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, what do you think, Tanzania? What do you think?
Now,
Blah,
so
blah, blah.
if you guess it's the world and not Solomon, not if you think it's secular, you have to guess a country. You have to guess to what country it came from.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I know
Can I
countries.
start singing my geography?
No, you can't. No, you can't break into tune here. For heaven's sakes.
No, they're
This is
actually
going to be a
pretty cool.
disaster. All right, here we go. So I'm going to say secular
I
versus
can say
Solomon,
all the
and then
first-
we're going to
all
go
the
around the
Old
room.
Testament.
Grace, make sure you got that microphone in your face when you're answering questions. And you guys ready?
Yep.
Ready.
All right. First question, secular or Solomon? A teacher is better than 2 books. A teacher is better than 2 books, secular or Solomon. Mike, you're up first.
Ben, I'm going to say that is secular and Botswana.
Secular, and it's the Botswanians who are saying this type of wisdom.
Right
Are they in?
Okay.
Ella?
Do you guys know how
Yes, I'm in. Yes, I'm in.
Okay, they're bandwagoning on Mike's answers. All right, Emma, a teacher is better than 2 books, secular or Solomon? Emma.
I'm thinking.
See, it'd be better if we were team.
Secular, the United States.
Okay, the United States. Grace Fust.
I gotta say secular England.
Secular England. No.
Nick Harris, no.
Hold on. Where's the thrift store priest?
There
All
he
right,
is.
thrift store priest says secular Germany. A teacher is better than 2 books.
You know.
The answer is secular Germany. 10 points to the thrift store priest.
Nice job.
Come on.
TSP comes in for the win. Nice to do.
He's gonna loan you those points, Harris.
Yes.
You're in for 10 points. All
Okay,
Yes,
cool, sweet. You know, I don't, man, the map is not my friend.
right, here we go. Next question: secular or Solomon? Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. Secular or Solomon? Ella and Layla. What do you think?
Secular song.
Secular or Solomon, Al?
Secular?
Secular. What country, Layla?
Any country will do.
Okay.
Peru.
United States.
Layla's in for the United States. All right, Emma. Secular or Solomon?
Solomon.
Solomon. Grace Fust.
I think it's secular. And I want to say India because they do stuff.
That's borderline dangerous. Thank you.
The logic behind that answer blows my mind.
Thanks.
Nick
feel
Harris, do you
appreciated.
want to hear it again?
I think I heard you, but
Okay.
I'm going with secular on that one.
Secular?
Yeah.
Country?
I'm going with your daughter, the U.S.
Okay. Harris is in for the U.S. Mike.
Solomon.
Solomon. All right, here we go. Let's see. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. The answer is indeed Solomon. Proverbs 10.
What the?
Proverbs 10.
India because they do stuff.
I don't know. I don't know a million.
I'm going to have to catch up on
countries.
my proverbs.
Nick Harris. The thrift store priest is now staring at you for having lost his 10 points. All right, here we
They done
go.
deducted it.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
All right, secular or Solomon, a cemetery never refuses a corpse. A cemetery never refuses a corpse. Secular or Solomon, Layla.
Jeez.
Secular.
Secular, and from what country? Maybe pick one from Europe.
Asia.
That is not a. There's a continent, not a European country.
France.
France, accepted. Emma, secular or Solomon?
Solomon.
Solomon says a cemetery never refuses a corpse. Yes. All right, Emma's double down. Grace, you got a dead man. We want him here. Says Solomon. Cemetery never refuses a corpse.
Solomon.
Solomon,
Because reasons.
because there's reasons. Nick Harris.
I go with secular.
What you got? What part of the world are you thinking? Asia, Africa,
Yeah, I go with Asia.
somewhere in Asia.
Same
Emma,
thing.
somewhere in Asia for Nick Harris.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere in Asia.
You gonna pick one? He needs an Asian country.
Let me see. Russia.
Bummer.
Bummer.
Yeah, Eastern or Western Russia's in
Most
yeah.
of Russia is.
Yeah,
Most
it's
of
over
Russia
towards
is in
that
Asia.
way.
Hey,
Bum-
you look like a fool.
Bummer that I thought that can't be in Asia.
You thought Europe. You wrong. You thought wrong, dude.
Good
All
for
right.
you. Good for you.
A cemetery never refused a corpse. Mike,
That's secular and Sweden.
secular Sweden.
Sweden.
All right, the answer is indeed secular Lebanon.
That's right next to Sweden.
What is
Lebanon.
Yes.
Lebanon, everybody knows.
So I forgot to check that.
I hate that commercial.
Not Lebanon.
I
What the
hate
heck?
stupid commercials that gets in my head.
Descended into troubles.
Oh man.
I hate this.
All right, here we go. Secular or Solomon. Whoever belittles his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. Whoever belittles his neighbor, let's go with harasses his neighbor, lacks
Belittles.
sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. Secular or Solomon? Emma.
Secular.
What?
Canada.
Secular, the Canada.
Canada.
Solid belittling fool.
Hey, they're cordial in Canada. That's why they have this phrase. Grace.
Solomon.
Emma, Grace is in for Solomon. Nick Harris.
Solomon.
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 Emma, regrets Emma?
No.
No,
I
Emma.
don't think I don't think it'd be in Solomon because Jesus wouldn't say to ignore your neighbor.
Ooh.
But it says whoever belittles his neighbor is something.
Theseus comes back around.
Layla, what do you think? Secular or Solomon? Most everyone's in for Solomon except for Emma.
Solomon.
Okay, Layla's in for Solomon. It was whoever belittles his neighbor lacks sense. If you harass your neighbor, you ain't thinking straight. And a babbling fool, but a man of understanding remains silent, decides not to harass his neighbor.
Okay.
Solomon! The answer is Solomon.
I got something. Oh.
Yeah.
Try.
So,
Canada doesn't
I like
you.
Emma's line of thinking, though. Emma says, so where this says, hey, man, if you're going to say something wrong, you just best not say something at all. Emma says, no, Jesus wouldn't say that. You just got to say the right thing. Engage thy neighbor. Okay.
Don't belittle your neighbor.
All right, here we go. Secular or Solomon. Let's see. When the judge's mule dies, everyone goes to the funeral. When the judge himself dies, no one does.
Ew.
When the judge's mule dies, everyone goes to the funeral. When the judge himself dies, no one does. Secular or Solomon? Grace.
Hey, hold on. What kind of songs do you think they play at a mule funeral? You know what I'm saying? Like a badly tuned violin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I shouldn't ask that.
Have
Continue on.
have someone else answer before me.
What? No, you don't get to pass. No passes.
Lila answer.
Grace, secular or Solomon?
Secular Egypt.
Okay, that's pretty good. Nick Harris.
Secular. I'm gonna have to go with. See, here you go, man.
You've been looking at me looking for answers.
I'm just trying to think of what part of the world.
Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey.
Turkey.
You just know that wasn't the right answer.
Hey, 10 points in Nick Harris, 'cause that's sharp. That's right on.
I'll take Turkey.
Mike, secular Solomon.
I'm going to do secular in Scotland.
Secular Scotland. Layla, secular Solomon.
Secular.
She's in for secular and what country? You've had like 3 minutes to come up with a country.
China.
China, very good. Emma.
Solomon.
Emma's in for Solomon.
What the heck?
Here we go. Sorry, I got distracted. When the judge's mule dies, everyone goes to the funeral. When the judge himself dies, no one does. Secular Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Almost.
Saudi Arabia.
Is that anywhere near Egypt?
I mean, it's in the vicinity. There's no points for that, but yeah, you know. It's like having a cool friend.
It's close to China. Yeah.
Having a cool friend that actually got the answer
But
right,
that-
so
yeah,
you feel
but
so
like-
low and annoyed.
It's like a cool friend, but like that doesn't like you enough to invite you to a birthday.
I know
That's
that.
Egypt to the Saudi Arabia.
I got a lot of friends like that. Yeah.
Hey, so what is it? I don't understand that one. What does that mean? Why is he saying that when the judge's mule dies, everyone goes? Emma.
Because even if they don't like the judge, like they go to it to show respect, but once he dies, no, he doesn't know, so they don't go.
Oh, then they don't bother to go, huh? They're trying to shine on the judge, eh? Because his mule died. They're like, oh, judge, you feel so sad. His poor mule.
I thought it was because, how can you have ill feelings against a mule? You know what I'm saying? It can't do anything. It can't put me in jail. It can't rule against me. But the judge, he can do things to me. He can decide whether I'm good or not good. Where a mule, he don't like you either way. He's like a house cat. They look at you with disdain.
What? I like house cats.
No, I
have
think Emma seems more appropriate. Like,
Now, the mule is not a judgatory man. That's what I'm saying.
no. They were trying to shine on the judge. They're trying to get in his good graces by going to his mule's funeral. But when the judge dies, there's no one left to impress, so they don't bother to go. Yeah.
That hit Nick Harris right at home.
Like, man,
That's like a tall drink of water. Like, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought it was because the mule is known as a non-judgmental animal. I missed it completely.
yeah.
This is why I don't read
Proverbs.
Nick
Yeah,
Harris
it's 100
Ferrero
chapters long.
Rocher's the post office worker until he retires, and he says, "No, you can laugh at Tevin." All right, here we go. A couple more. Secular or Solomon. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones.
Boy. That's Hallmark. Skip that one.
Hold on. Take it in again. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. Secular or Solomon, Nick Harris.
You just gonna do me like that early, huh?
Tread lightly, Nick Harris.
I'm trying.
What if the doctor?
I want to say secular so bad, but
What if the doctor came in and said, "Nick Harris, you got the bone rottenness"? You know what I'm saying? That's a tough diagnosis.
It's this woman you gave me. That's what you would say?
yeah, I said secular.
Okay,
And-
secular.
And hold on, I got a country for you this time. 'Cause y'all not gonna keep doing me like that.
The internet's gonna get me out of this one.
This is why you need to let me on the internet so I can win this game.
What you got?
What did you Google? Tell me. What did you type in?
That's
Countries?
I gotta have one on the spot, Mike. My brain just can't think of all these countries like that. I'm gonna say Greece.
Oh, Nick
I'll go
Harris.
with Greece.
I'm awarding 15 points, even after illegal phone usage.
It says, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna Google it right in front of you.
I have to, Mike. I can't just let y'all people keep doing me like this.
He's got no chill. He's gonna look it up. He's gonna show everybody. I love it, Nick Harris. 15 points.
I'll take it.
Okay, Harris is in for secular Greece. Mike.
Solomon.
Layla Bird.
Wait, am I doing country?
You're gonna pick between Bible or country.
Okay. Solomon.
All right, ladies in for Solomon. Emma,
Solomon.
you think he would say that thing about wives?
Yeah.
Okay. Grace. Hey, what's this fool doing? Hey,
I can't control one of them.
hey, I had to take those 15 points
Hey.
away from somewhere to give to Nick Harris, and they're coming from you. You're not allowed to use the Lord's word in this exercise.
What is?
Secular Solomon.
Solomon.
I go for
Hey,
Solomon.
no cahoots.
Fine.
Hey, Uncle Mike is in cahoots with Layla.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
fine.
am.
Fine. Secular, whatever country cares about wives.
Right, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
Actually, that does narrow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
You know what? Secular China. I got a cahoot from Emma.
All right, here we go.
You can't trade cahoots. Okay, moving on.
All right, an excellent wife
it's the Bible.
An excellent wife is the crown of her husband. But she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. It is Solomon, Proverbs 12.
Nailed it.
Proverbs
See?
12.
Yeah,
You tell me
good.
not to cahoot. See? What is this? See? You make me wrong.
In Harris's
steal the
defense,
50 points from me now.
the Greeks are a Bible people. It was written in Greek.
I was thinking about Syria after I said that. Like, okay,
The internet's not
somewhere
steering me
over
wrong.
there.
All right, here we go. Last one. Here we go. Secular or Solomon, if you do not honor your parents, your children will not honor you. If you do not honor your... you know what? I got to skip that one. Nope, that one's not going to work out. Hold on a second.
If you do not if your parents don't honor your grandparents, your children will not say, "Oh, you're great."
Yeah, that was the gist of it, pretty much.
Yeah, not
okay,
gonna happen.
here we go. Okay, I got it. Secular or Solomon, a prudent man does not make the goat his gardener.
What?
A prudent man
A man who thinks straight.
does not make the goat his gardener?
Oscar's gonna
We
eat
ain't
it all.
Secular or Solomon? Mike.
I feel like I've been burned by this match before. Ben. That's going to be secular and Polish.
Secular Poland.
Poland.
Layla.
Yeah, they like goat.
Secular.
Suckistan.
Sakistan.
I'm sorry, we do not accept Sockistan. It's not a legit country.
Yeah, it is.
It's where all the socks live
Okay, you
that you
gotta
lose in
pick
the
another
dryer.
Okay.
That's not going to work.
No.
No Kahoot.
She rejects Russia.
Asia.
That's a whole continent, man. That's cheap.
You should have taken Sakistan.
Okay, Layla, you're in for Thailand. In?
Say that.
Okay, that's what I thought. Emma, secular Solomon.
Secular. Sweden.
Secular Sweden. Grace.
I also have to say secular Sweden, and I am highly offended by that. Apparently we are not prudent. We let the goat. We literally make the goat trim our lawn.
Yeah, but we don't put them in the garden to eat all the food.
We let the chickens do it though.
Okay.
Nick Harris.
Burn.
A prudent man does not let the goat be his gardener.
Secular, Hungary.
Nick Harris is in for secular Hungary.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that everybody?
Yeah, it's everybody.
Okay, I mean, be ready to be floored here. A prudent man does not make the goat his gardener. Secular Hungary.
Hungry.
Yeah,
We were hungry.
first time.
We are hungry.
I mean, I just did not see that coming.
I mean, that was a spanking on a 10th birthday. You know what I'm saying? It came out of nowhere.
Apparently we all got it
See, when I
wrong.
do the
It came from the
research.
country of Hungary.
All right, thrift store priest is now back in the corner. He's in. Hey, you've just participated in a discombobulated but otherwise prudent, not goatish, secular versus Solomon. Thanks for hanging out with us in that game. If you want to check out more, go to livefromthepath.org and you can listen to other iterations of the game, including pseudo celebrities
I love to
and guests and other things. So
love
go to
my
livefromthepath.org. You can check that out.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Dear Live from the Path.
Okay. Oh, say, ladies. So this is advice. People are calling asking for advice.
We got to try to help them out. Ready?
Yep.
I live in a 55-plus community. That means community for people that are older than 55 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
I am younger than my husband by 10 years, so I was 49 when we moved here. We have lost 49 neighbors during the past 5 years. Yes, seriously. Others are in nursing homes with no quality of life. While walking my dog yesterday, a neighbor stopped me. She was standing in the driveway crying and nearly hysterical. Her husband has been in a nursing home for 3 years. He doesn't know what is going on or who she is. She told me that she visits him every day, but she cannot stand it anymore. They are in their 80s and had a wonderful 50-year marriage. He is not on life support, but has just been lying there all this time. What can she do? What can I do to help her? Did you guys understand the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these people have been married for 50 years. They're getting a little bit older. The husband's not doing so well health-wise. So he's in the hospital, and he can't recognize her or say hi to her or remember any of the things that had their life together. And she just feels extremely lonely and just can't take it. She goes up to the hospital visit, and he has no idea who she is. And so the question is what can she do, and what can I do to help her? Any suggestions? Go ahead, Grace.
Yeah, go ahead.
You could tell her that in the end it'll all be okay. We all go to heaven.
Do
At
we?
least once.
What? What happened at the end there?
We all go to heaven at least once.
Just one time.
What?
Well,
Solomon.
We're gonna have to read
well,
Mark
Mr.
again.
Well, Mr. Fust in the gray shirt over here is like, what? So my first opinion, so I'm like, at least once.
Okay.
Wait, so you just threw that in there to try to cover up for anything you might have said incorrectly?
Well, he's laughing at me.
No, actually, that's
Am I supposed to put it this way because the camera's over there?
no.
Eh?
No, you're all right.
Okay, I wasn't laughing at you. I was interested in your answer because that's a very long-term perspective especially for somebody that, trying to explain to somebody like that. You're basically in the midst of your whole world falling apart. The woman's extremely depressed and she doesn't know what to do. And so saying, look, it'll all be okay in the end, that doesn't help them right now. it helps them in the big picture, but it doesn't help them in the right now of feeling the way that they're feeling. Do you have anything that you think you could that would help her? Nick Harris?
Basically, just, the best thing she can do is just be by his side at the moment. Just pray, go to the hospital, rub his hand, hold his hand or whatnot. Get everybody she knows to pray for him.
Yeah, I would say something.
Keep the faith, I guess. Like, that's the only thing you can do in these situations. This one, Jesus worked the best. I mean, sometimes you might feel like you took a loss, but Jesus always comes through. Like, you just don't never know his plan. So, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. Like, like in these situations, is faith. Like, that's when you lean towards God and put your faith in God, and he'll give you ideas to do, like, I don't know, just talk to him. Just be there at the hospital and keep talking to him. Even though he's not really understanding everything like that, but maybe one day he will through Jesus Christ, so.
These are the things that you're saying that, like, when I look at how Jesus says to love people, like loving something that can't love you back, like just does not have the ability to love you back, right? And like I know I've had some experiences through some friends of ours, or that have had, there's been some illness in their family or something, and now someone in their family they just don't have the capability to show affection in return for what you're pouring into them, right? And like this is kind of the same situation, and when you look at the way that Jesus loves people, it's not because of anything we've done that deserves the love, right? It's almost always God says to accept the way that I have life designed for you, and it's almost always, I'll do most, but not that. I'm going to go on my own in this thing. And he loves regardless of whether we are able to show affection back to him. It always scares me that push comes to shove, I might be that way. I might be that way where I can only love when love is returned to me. I can't love even when it can't be shown back to me. And so like that question in particular, for some reason, it just hits me something that it's something that I constantly pray for, that I want to be able to do, that I actually don't know that I have the capability to do without him. I don't know that I have the ability to love without receiving love back. And that is something that solely comes from, as far as I'm concerned, with knowing Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Because, like, we kind of programmed to not love unless people show love to us. So that's sort of like the world conditioning us to do that.
Yeah.
Rather than someone being right there telling you and showing you how to do these things and giving examples on how to do it. Like, it's just pretty hard because you just come out and you just born and pushed out to the world where people show you what respect is and how you should be treated. And, if somebody's not doing that to you, then, they not really respecting you. So, but in these situations, like, you got to extend the love to that person, and maybe you can work through that person through Jesus Christ. Like, I done did it a lot of times. Like, I know people that probably didn't like me at first, and because, like, from afar, if you look at somebody, like, you can kind of see if you would like them already.
I wasn't a big fan of you when I met you.
I mean, that's okay.
That's fine with me.
That's okay. Like, a lot of people do, because, like, you'll perceive something in your own head without actually knowing what it'll be. So,
right.
And that's how it is. Like, you just got to keep showing people love, and then they really see the real you, I guess, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say broadly, like, if you can't, you got two things you can do in that situation. You should do both of them. You recognize the things that you cannot control, and submit them to someone who can, Jesus, right? Like, if there's any being that can otherwise do something about that situation, it's God. So you're gonna have to put faith in there that whatever is gonna be. And then within the realm of what you can control, do that. If you're gonna hold hands, you're gonna like tell stories. Have like right now, this isn't the best memory, right? But it's an opportunity for you to still live in the moment with that person. Remember good times, share stories, be there with them. It doesn't there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to change that circumstance, but it doesn't mean that every circumstance up to that point didn't build what good relationship you had, the great marriage that you shared. And so it's a time to spend thinking about that type of thing and sharing that and telling those types of stories and that. So I would what you can't control, give to one who can, and then what you can control, invest and do that.
Secular says, your poor neighbor was having an awful day. You already helped by listening to her and allowing her to vent. However, she needs to be able to do a lot more of it, and a way to help her further would be to suggest she talk to a doctor who specializes in the needs of older patients. There may be a support group in your 55-plus community she could join, and she should be encouraged to do more for herself than she has been.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, ready? Dear Life from the Path. My son, Alan, is 27 and a pretty good writer, mostly fantasy stuff. I don't like that genre myself, but I have enjoyed reading some of his work. He writes not only short stories, but also entire books. I have tried to convince him to submit his work to publishers to no avail. He has a college degree, but he doesn't use it. He's content working a minimum wage job when he could be doing what he loves and possibly making a living at it. Oh, and he still lives at home and does very little work around the house. Advice, please?
Ladies, what do you say to this cat if you're the parents?
He's 27. He's a good writer. His dad wants him to turn these books in to make big money, and he's like, nah, it's good.
I'm working at the Wendy's instead.
I work at the Wendy's. He goes, but you went to college, son. He's like, I'm good with the Wendy's.
And I'm going to live at home here.
27.
What do you think? What's your advice for the dad or for the kid?
Well, it's hard. I'm not 27. It's going to be hard for me.
Well, I think that's an honest opinion. Yeah.
I haven't been 27 yet.
No, that's cool. Can you imagine a man about 27? So.
Well, so Mike, how old were you when you got married?
Yeah, right. Wait for it.
27.
24, 25.
25.
Yeah.
23.
23. Dang it.
Right. So I got married when I was 23. We were having children by 25, 24, 25. All right. This guy's 27. Okay. And he's working at the Wendy's, living at home.
Has a college degree. He went to college.
Yeah.
Well, he should.
What subject did he do in college?
It doesn't say.
He's an accountant.
He should turn it in.
He's right.
And then if they you should turn it your stories, and then you can make money from doing something you like. Like when I paint pictures, I like painting pictures, and then I can make money from it. But if I worry too much that people aren't gonna like it, if they don't like it, I can keep working on it. So if he enters it and they don't like it, he can keep working on it and redo it, and then send it back in. Just keep trying until it works.
Yeah. That's a good example, Emma. So let's say you drew pictures and they're really good, and other people should want to see them, but you refuse. You say, hey man, I'm just not going to share them with anybody. What kinds of things do you think you should say to a person to try to encourage them to share it?
They're good, and have him share it with a bunch of other people, and that lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff, Ben.
Right. So get up his confidence a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Boy, I was going to go the completely opposite direction. I was going to say, listen, you coward, you turn them books in. You know what I'm saying? You write good books and you're sitting around, you refuse to turn them in. It's because you're scared. What are you scared of? People going to say they stink? You know they don't stink.
Yeah, well, you can say that in a kinder way, like I said.
No, I can't. I've been doing this my whole life, Emma. I can't. That's the way I say it.
We don't really know if that's his true dream. Just because he's good at doing something and...
That's true. What if you were good at plunging toilets? Doesn't mean you want to plunge toilets all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know if that's his dream. So, I mean, we should tell him to act in faith to see how far it takes him. Because you never know if he find out if he's good at something else.
You feel like faith is taking him to working at the Wendy's, living at his mom and dad's when he's 27?
No, having faith in, just to turn the books in and see what it do.
Right on.
And if not, if it don't work, like your daughter said, keep trying. And if that don't work, it's something to work within those lines, because anytime you jump out in faith, it's going to happen. It's 100% fact.
Here's the thing. Nick Harris is believable because he pulled out secular hungry and nailed it.
True.
I mean, he went out hungry on faith.
Yeah,
and he nailed it.
Anytime I jump out on faith, it's a fact.
Now, to be fair, you were scouring the internet for answers to the question previous.
Yeah, but but I just had it waiting, and then as soon as it came around to me, okay, I just...
Hey, Siri, what's
quit.
the answer to this question?
So we'll send Emma first, and if it doesn't work, then I'll come in with my cowardly spiel.
What?
So tell him if you want to do something else, you can do it. But first, try to get put in your writings, and then if you like to do writings and you do it, then you can keep doing that. But if you'd rather do something else, you can do both. If writing's easy for you and you're good at it, then you can do both and just have extra money to give away to people or help people with, or even buy houses and stuff.
Pick up a house or two.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
Grace, anything, Dad?
Does he have a car?
It does not say whether he owns a vehicle or not.
Well, if he owns a vehicle, he can just live in his vehicle. That's my plan. I don't need a house.
Yeah.
Plus,
See, I got him
wherever
ready.
I want.
Yeah, you go
Low gas
Sassbeach, you live
mileage,
in a
live in the
vehicle.
trunk.
All right. Secular says, has it occurred to you that your son may be in a comfortable rut? I assume you have already spoken to him regarding his lack of ambition. While his job may not be what you think he's capable of doing, it may allow him the time to write. He may hesitate to submit his work to publishers because he's afraid rejection would be too painful. Not knowing your son, I can't guess his reasons for living the life he has chosen. However, if what's really bothering you is the fact that at 27 he's still living at home and not helping enough around the house, we can fix that. Explain what you expect of him if he's going to continue to stay there, and if he doesn't live up to his responsibilities, tell him he'll have to move out. It's your home, and you have a right to be assertive about what goes on in it.
Yeah, that's the real core of the problem, right? So you're right. You could be assuming things about his job, assuming things about his story, but the fact that you happen to mention that you don't think he's doing enough around the house, that seems to be the core issue here.
Mom just tells me to do it.
Yeah. So wait, what you think the dad here might have said it? Hey, son, you need to do this. And he's like, I'm 27. I don't have to listen to you. What would you say to that?
Well, yeah, you do.
Why?
Yeah, you do. I'm your parents. I birthed you.
I birthed you.
You're the dude. You did not birth me.
And it doesn't really matter how old you are. You're still your parents, and you still pretty much have to do basically what I say.
This is what I'm talking about.
As long as
this
you're
kid is well raised.
As long as you're in the house, I can still control.
I would like
what
you to
do.
obey me when you don't live here as well. Lifelong.
Yeah, as long as you're living in your car, I will tell you what to do. All right, you got one more?
Yeah, one more. Here we go.
Yep.
Dear Live from the Path. Recently, I was listening to a couple talking about who and who not to invite to a wedding because the seating was limited. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering whether there would be anything wrong with sending out a letter stating that although they would like to invite everyone, seating is limited. This dude's solving the world's problems.
This is to the people that weren't chosen?
I don't know. He's going to continue to explain.
Sorry.
Explain that, of course, immediate family, parents, siblings, and their spouses would be invited without exception. However, the remaining seating would be on a lottery basis. If people accept the invitation, they would be in the lottery and then notified of the results. Is this acceptable? I think it would solve a lot of problems.
What do you think, ladies?
Well, I think
No, problem solver. No.
Just choose their favorite
No, sir.
people.
No.
They're their best friends and stuff. And then if you don't tell the other people, they'll never really know. And then if they're friends,
You don't think they'll find out that you had a wedding behind their back?
well, their friends tell them,
You must fold the
sorry,
chairs."
there's too many people. It's we're so squished. And then they're like,
So like it was terrible. It was super hot. There was giraffes everywhere. It was super squished together.
and they'll be like, okay, I don't care. Even.
Dad, go build these guys some chairs.
Yeah,
So the question, the reason people don't generally do that, right, is because let's say one of your friends find out and they're like, look, you didn't invite me. That hurts my feelings. You didn't think I was a good enough friend to invite your wedding. If there was only 5 seats available, I thought at least I would get one because I'm that important to you. And then their feelings would be all
And they
hurt.
could say, well, don't be that selfish, man.
Yeah. So now it's you bringing the boot. Last question, I was bringing the boot. Now you're bringing the boot. You could be like, hey, I love you very much, but
This is
we're
like an
short
argument
on
with your
seats.
sister.
And instead you're
I
like,
did.
don't be so selfish, man. I like your style, Emma.
Take it on the heat.
Dig it on the heat.
The only thing I could really say, it might sound crazy to you guys, is it might not though. Okay. Invite who you want to invite at the immediate people, like the immediate friends, family.
Yep.
And tell the people that couldn't make it that you can watch it live stream somewhere close around the area, and we'll do something separate when
Satellite
everybody's
campus.
Yeah.
I got the answer.
Hey, so people do that, right? They
Yeah.
can come to the reception, but they don't invite him to the wedding, and then, yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, and just, party right after the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't do anything in here, but y'all watched it live, and you didn't miss a moment.
I'd rather do that anyway, frankly. I'd rather go to the reception. I don't like having to put on pants and things to go to the wedding itself.
Terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Grace, you said you have a solution?
Yes, video chat.
That's very similar to what Nick Harris was saying. Yeah, just live stream it. Let people watch it. So no one wants to say yes to the lottery.
No,
which
that's
basically means, look, if we have 40 chairs, 30 of them are definitely going to the guests that we want here. The other 30 people we're going to invite, and then we're just going to pick some names out of a hat, and that'll fill in the rest of the seats.
No.
Nah.
No,
That's unacceptable.
What's this music playing? I didn't start this.
no, you're not in charge of the music.
Who
Grace.
started this?
Okay, here we go. Let's
I
see what
didn't hear it before.
let's see what Secular says. Secular says, if I were you, I would forget this concept. Depending on the size of the guest list, I strongly suspect it would offend anyone who didn't win the lottery.
Agreed.
Yeah, you know what, dude? You should probably stay out of the planning processes of just about any gathering at all.
Yeah, right. Now think of what you've done. You've taken
the
people
lottery.
that you know would want to be there and then put them in a system where they could be excluded. Whereas if you didn't invite them, like, at least you're not dealing with people who are like, yes, I want to be there, and then a finger that comes back and says, no, you cannot come.
It's
Yeah,
like earlier when we weren't sure we were coming, like Daddy said Layla didn't really have a right to be upset because he had just told her about it, and then we said we might not be coming. And then she started getting all sad. And he said, if I had been told you this a week earlier, and then you had been looking forward to it for a long time, then you would have been. Then you have a reason to be sad. Like if they had been told, like, hey, you have an invitation to our wedding, and then you're like, oh, sorry.
And
too
you
bad.
rescind it.
Can't
You're right.
come.
That would make people mad.
And then, but if you don't tell them in the first place, and then at the end just say sorry without making it for a reason you can say sorry that they know of,
Yeah.
then it's easier, and it doesn't make you as angry.
Tell them the truth.
Well, see, that's where I disagree. I think you should just tell the truth. Some people will say, hey, I didn't get an invitation to your wedding. And you say, yeah, I know.
I didn't send you one.
Yeah, it's because I didn't put one in the mail.
Well, they might say, I did send you one. I don't know why you didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick Harris is going to tell a lie.
Oh,
Secular Nick Harris. If it's a lie.
Hungary.
All right, you've been listening to Live from the Path on livefromthepath.org. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
We're over.
Yeah, it's on its way out. Do you want to say anything to whatever your mom's while you on?
But this is going on Facebook.
No, it's probably not.
What?
No, probably not Facebook. I can't trust you guys.
wait.
You said you
are
quit
just
putting it
the
on
moms
YouTube.
watching this?
You put it on Facebook
Because
now.
I have a question directly to Mommy.
Yeah, go ahead, ask your mom.
I really wish you let us get some candy to get to the movie tomorrow, 'cause you don't have any.
Don't look at me. I'm not. That's a mom question, that candy business. All right, thanks for hanging out with us on Live from the Path. We will be back, hopefully, regular crew, regular time next week. We will see you then.
What?
Thanks for hanging out with us. In the meantime, be faithful in the means. God will handle the ends. You've been listening to Live from the Path.